With the first round of the British Open winding down, we bring in our golf columnist, Steve Elling, who is across the pond to recap it all. Welcome to you. I'm Lauren Shehadi. Steve, let's get down to business. A lot of red numbers in round one. Did the course play easier than expected? Did that surprise you at all?
No, it didn't surprise me at all. I actually sent an email to one of the editors yesterday saying I wouldn't be surprised this week. If it's all contingent on the weather when you're this close to the ocean, of course. That's a huge asterisk. You got to hang on to anything you say. But I told him I wouldn't be surprised if the all-time major championship scoring record fell today, and that would be a 62. We didn't quite get there. We got 64, and it was just absolutely perfect conditions. The Firth of Clyde, which is what they call this stretch of the sea here offshore the golf course. It looked like you could have gone water skiing out there. It was that calm. There were no waves, and a kid could have taken his toy sailboat out there and been very, very safe. Not a lick of breeze, not a wisp of wind, no rain, no nothing, and it was complete green light golf if you were playing out of the fairway. So no, not at all surprised that the scores were this low. Although it's not going to continue. They're expecting traditional British Open weather tomorrow, i.e. wind, rain, and all that stuff.
Okay, so the weather wasn't surprising. I have to ask you if the leaderboard was at all. Miguel Angel Jimenez, Tom Watson, Ben Curtis, of all those three, who surprises you the most?
Well, Watson's got to be. It's shocking to some degree until you kind of peel back the Band-Aid and look at it and understand how he did it. The guy can still hit the golf ball as well as the majority or most of the guys on the PGA Tour. It's just, he doesn't play very often. He's not long anymore. He's 59 years old, about to turn 60, and doesn't putt very well. He's a very much a below average putter. So when he gets a day when he can get the ball in the hole with the short game, he can contend with these guys. I don't know that I would say, yes, he's going to win. That'd be quite a leap of faith at this stretch with 54 holes left, and his 59-year-old nerves are going to start jangling here pretty soon when he's over these 3, 4, and 5 footers that have given him so much trouble over the last 20 years. So he's clearly the biggest surprise. But it's links golf, and experience is just about as valuable as pure talent. I mean, you look at that leaderboard, the guys that are tied for 9th or better. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 guys up there that are age 45 or older. You got Watson, Lehman, O'Meara, who have all won, and Calcavecchia, who have all won British Opens in the past, and then you got Vijay Singh on top of that, who's won 3 other majors. So, experience means something out here. You just there's different ways to skin this cat. It is not a blow it high and let it fly PGA Tour event. Let's
talk about a guy very much under the age of 45, and that's Tiger Woods. We spoke about him earlier. Finishing at +1. He didn't take the opportunities that he needed, you said. What about in round 2? Going in, what's his game plan?
Well, he's going to have to pick his spots, and I think a lot of it's going to be predicated on how bad the storm is that's coming in here tomorrow. It might be a scenario where he might shoot even par and pick up 4 or 5 shots if everybody else is bleeding strokes out there. He's a pretty good poor weather player, He held his own at the U.S. Open this year, top 10 there, and he played through the worst part of that draw. I remember vividly him playing through some pretty ugly weather at the U.S. Open the last time that it was up at Bethpage, the year that he won it. So that stuff doesn't bother him so much. In fact, in his mind, it gives him an advantage because he knows it's going to put a lot of the other guys in a kind of a defeatist mindset, and it's going to factor a lot more guys out that way. So. If we get sloppy weather, that probably works to his advantage at this point because, he's still longer than most and more creative than most and has 3 of these titles under his belt already over here. So, bad weather probably works to the advantage of Tiger Woods and maybe even Tom Watson, where they can use, their will and their wiles and their wisdom that they've accrued over all these years of coming here.
Okay, meteorologist Steve Elling, you say there's going to be maybe perhaps some weather conditions. What does that mean for the course and the challenges that lie ahead during inclement weather?
Well, it's a matter of how much. It's a sand-based golf course. We're right on the cusp of the sea here, so it can take a lot of water. The sand traps will drain pretty well. The course will drain pretty well. It'll just be a matter of, like last year in the first round, which was as awful as anything I've ever seen. Truly, you hear the cliche raining sideways. Yeah, it was slanting horizontal last year. So if it's that type of storm, it's just going to be a matter of surviving, and it's kind of one of those last man standing types of things. And the weekend's not supposed to be as bad as tomorrow, so we'll see. You're certainly not going to see nearly as many birdies and eagles and all those types of things tomorrow, because guys are going to have to hit drivers on the holes into the wind, and when they hit balls into the hay, you have a hard time finding the ball, much less hitting it.
It's a matter of survival. I like it. Should get exciting, right? Steve, thanks for your time.
You got it.
You can track it all right here on CBSSports.com. For Steve Elling, I'm Lauren Shehadi. Thanks for watching.